So students, today I will start the revision, the chapter body movement, and it's the revision number 4. Okay, so I have marked here some important 2 marks questions, 3 marks questions and 5 marks questions. Okay, you have to go through this. No need to write, just mark it in your classwork copy and then learn it properly. So first question is given here. How do snails move? Okay, we know that the muscles are present in the snail's body, and these muscles which is present in the sticky food of snails simultaneously contracts and expand and enables the snails to move forward. So it means that how snails move, actually snails move with the help of their sticky foot. They have a sticky foot, and within this foot a muscle is present. These muscles contract and expand, and in this way snail moves forward. So this is the answer. You have to learn it. Okay, the second question is that how do earthworms move? Okay, earthworm moves with the help of muscles and stiff hair like projections. Means earthworms having some special locomotory organ which is just stiff hair like, and they have a particular name which is called bristles, and these bristles or these hair like projections are present on the lower surface of their body. Okay, and in this, with the help of these muscles and stiff hair like projections or these bristles, they can move forward. So it means that the earthworms locomotory organ is the bristles and the muscles, whereas in case of snails their movement occurs through their sticky foot. Okay, so both the questions are important. How do earthworms move and how do snail moves? The question is given, what is vertebral column? So the human skeletal system is made up, in human skeletal system vertebral column is present. Okay, so all vertebrates have a column of bones which running from the base of the skull and continues till up to the hip. So vertebral column means all vertebrate. Vertebrate means those having vertebral column, they are called vertebrate. For example, human being, tigers, lions, birds, they are vertebrates. They have a column of bones that running from base of their skull, means at the end portion of the skull, and it continues up to the hip region, means up to waist region. Okay, this column of bones is called vertebral column. So this is also an important question. And second question is given that what is the function of the skull? We all know that our skull is a protective part. They helps to protect our brain, because inside the skull our brain is kept. Means this skull helps to protect our brain, not only brain, our eyes, ears and tongues, they also are protected by the skull. So this is the function of the skull. So here I have given the 4 important 2 marks questions. You have to learn it properly. Clear? 3 marks questions. First, there is 2 difference. That is, first difference between ball and socket joint and hinge joint, and second difference is that between tendons and ligaments. See, the answers is already written in your classwork copy. Just go through it. Tendons means thick and tough strand of tissues that connect muscles to bones. It means that in our body the muscles are connected with bones with the help of this tendon. They are thick tough strands. Strands means just hair like or thread like. Whereas ligaments are strong flexible tissue that connect two bones. Means suppose 2 bones, here it is a bone and here it is a bone. These 2 bones are connected through the ligaments. They are strong and flexible, but tendons connect muscles to bones. So this is the main difference between tendons and ligaments. Second is that ball and socket joint and hinge joint. So first we have to know that where ball and socket joint is present. This joint, the joint of legs at the hip region and arms at the shoulder, are ball and socket type. So where it is located? It's located in the joints of the legs at the hip, means in the hip region where the legs are attached in this portion, and arms where it attached with our shoulder in this portion. The joint is mainly ball and socket type. Okay, but hinge joints is present in our knees and elbows. So first the difference is there according to their location, where it is situated, ball and socket joint and hinge joint. Second, the function. These joints allow the movement of the body in several directions. That's why we can easily move our arm or our feet in every direction or several direction. But hinge joints allow the movement of the body parts only in one direction. Okay, hinge joint means they allow movement of the body parts in only one direction. So this is the, according to their function, this is the difference. Clear? Write the parts of human skeleton system. Now we have to know that, we know that already our human skeleton system is made up of so many parts. So what are the parts? First is the skull at the top, then vertebral column, rib cages, arms and legs, pectoral and pelvic girdle, ball and socket joints, hinge joint, pivotal joints and gliding joints. So it means skull, vertebral column, rib cage, these are the main, and arm and legs, pectoral girdle, pelvic girdle, and some of the joints that you have to remember properly. So these are our parts of the human skeleton system. No need to draw any diagram, just you have to remember the each and every parts of human skeleton system. So this is also a very important question. The next question is that if our spine was a single bone, what problem we will face? Yes, our spine, if our spine was a single bone, then it cannot bend properly, and if it can't bend, we cannot have the ability to twist our body, to turn our body, and at the same time we would not able to play, do exercise, do dance. Okay, so it means if it was a single bone, it have lost their flexible features, means it can't bend, and if it is not bent, then we would not able to do different kind of activities, especially twisting, bending of our body, turning of our body, doing exercise, yoga. Okay, so this type of problems we will face this type of problems if our spine was a single bone. Okay, this is a conceptual question, this is also very important. And the last question of 3 marks is that how do insects move? See, insects have 2 pairs of wings. 2 pairs means they having 4 wings, two forewing and 2 hind wing, covered with cuticle. These wings are covered by a hard part which is called cuticle, and these wings helps them to fly, because we know that insects generally move in the form of flying. Not only some, they also have 6 legs or 3 pair of legs, and the tissues of the legs are attached with the endoskeleton of the legs that help them to walk. So insects movement means flying and walking. Flying occurs with the help of their 2 pairs of wings which is covered by cuticle. At the same time, they can easily walk with the help of their 3 pairs of legs, and the tissues of these legs are attached with the exoskeleton of the legs. So this is the process how insects move. Clear? And the 5 marks questions is that which body features helps the birds to fly? Means what are the body features that birds having and help them to fly easily? So there are so many features, one by one we have to remember it. First of all, we know that the skeleton of birds made up of porous and hollow bones. Hollow bones means inside the bone there is an empty space, and porous means having small holes or pores. So that means their bones are very light in weight, and as a result it reduces their weight of the body, means their body weight is very low, means they have a light weighted body due to the presence of this hollow or empty bones and porous bones. So this is number 1 feature. Second one is that their body is streamline shaped body. Suppose this is streamline shaped body which facilitates them to fly in the sky easily. Second, their wings covered with feathers which increases the surface area. So their wings are mainly covered by wings. When the surface area is increased, it also helps them to flying properly or easily. Tail feathers maintain balance during flying. They having a tail feather at the end. At the base of their tail, there are feathers. It is covered by tail feathers or feathers, which help them during the balancing. Means whenever they are flying, it maintains their balance. And the legs also help in flying, because if some birds they don't having any legs, it's very difficult to fly or they are unable to fly. So these are the adaptive features that birds have and facilitates them or help them to fly. So first, the light weighted body due to the presence of hollow and porous bones. Second, streamline shaped body, wings covered with feathers, tail feathers, and the presence of legs. So you have to go to learn it properly. This is also a very important question. Okay, so this is the ultimate revision, especially for 2 marks, 3 marks, and 5 marks questions. The important questions that I have marked here, you have to learn it carefully for your coming examination. Okay, on the next class, means in the revision number 5, we will do the MCQs, true, false, fill in the blanks, match the following, whatever there is, the remaining parts. Okay, so just mark in your classwork copy and learn it. Okay, thank you.